Again, after the first hour of trading, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 0.26 on a light volume of 4.5 million shares, with the index now at 823.54. This has been Eric Walbon, specialist for Lowbroad's Hornblower, returning you to KMWX.
Okay, Eric, grab your viewing device and head outside.
We're going to do it right now.
All right, we're just about 7 minutes away from total eclipse, from totality.
Standing.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good day.
All right, now let's check on our Eclipse team on the roof of KMWX and see what's happening up there.
Okay, thank you, Art. And we are back on the roof here at KMWX and now getting down to the serious business of doing the play-by-play of an eclipse. And Sharon Lee has joined me up here. Sharon, you have your indirect viewing device. What do you see at this point?
Right now, we're looking at kind of a crescent. It almost looks like the crescent moon in my viewing box. So I think Art's about right. 5 to 7 minutes, we should have a total eclipse. And it is starting to get colder. Everybody was commenting up here as they're huddling around the coffee pot. It is starting to get colder.
That's right, and we should be able to see the shadow. Of course, it'll approach at, 3,000 miles an hour?
3,000 miles per hour.
And the totality period should last about 2 minutes to, say, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So, what is it? Oh, yes, okay. Totality, of course, is the only safe period that you can look at the sun, and by no means are we going to be able to tell you from up here exactly when that will be. We won't know.
We won't know because we still do have a little bit of a cloud cover. We can see with the indirect viewing devices pretty much what's happening, but there is still a cloud cover, so totality is going to be very hard to judge. So please don't look.
Right. There will be, of course, a better view. It looks like perhaps up on a Tandem Ridge and some of the areas down south where the sky is cleared up a little bit. But Art, we'll take it again in a few minutes here. It's getting dark, it's getting cold up here, and we're at about 90% right now.
All right. Strangely enough, the temperature has not gone down any yet. Your cold is just an optical illusion, and the time that you can look during totality, which should be at 8:16 and 44 seconds. That is the total totality, and you can look for 1 minute and 58 seconds, and it's safe to look at it at that time. I mean, we'll of course be bringing you more coverage as it happens, and the area on the ground here is beginning to look rather weird, and it's kind of an eerie looking day and morning, and of course it will get dark, and you'll have to turn your headlights on if you're doing some driving right now. So don't forget that. The electronic eyes around the city that turn on the street lights and that turn on different lights in people's yards and so forth will probably be going on. Stars will appear in the sky where it's clear. And animals will do strange things. And cats and dogs and probably start to howl, and the animals will just do a very weird number. It's a strange thing for them. They don't understand what's going on. Nobody to tell them that it is total eclipse day. It's 12 minutes after 8 o'clock, and our weather for the Yakima Valley, partly cloudy today with a slight chance of showers and variable cloudiness tomorrow. Right now at KMWX, 35 degrees. We'll watch it very closely so that we can tell you when the temperature starts to drop and you can experience the whole thing.
This week at your JCPenney Auto Center.
Have a great day skiing. This is Dave Fox from Northwest Skier reporting for KMWX.
The morning ski report has been brought to you by Bernina Sewing Center in the Valley Mall. Do it yourself and save. It's getting dark, very dark. The temperature is remaining the same at 35 degrees right now in Yakima, and so we're going back up on to our team up on the roof to get a report on the eclipse with Marty Rowe and the others.
All right, thank you very much. And Marty Rowe along with Sharon Lee and Tim Hunter. And Sharon, it's definitely getting darker up here. Now, describe what you see for us in your viewing device there.
The crescent is getting a lot smaller. We're within a couple, 3 minutes probably of totality. And the one thing that a lot of observers at the Greenwich Laboratory in England talked about is it got kind of an eerie grayness to the light. And that's what's happening. It's getting much darker.
And we should be able to see a rippling effect, too, as that shadow moves across, say, the parking lot down below us. We're probably losing the light at the rate of, I'd say, 10% every 30 seconds.
Because we're talking about a shadow, the shadow that's crossing the Earth's surface from the moon between us and the sun.
All right, the street lights are coming on now.
It's getting dark. All the lights came on in the mall parking lot. We're watching all the street lights come on along Natchez and 5th and right down here along B Street. So it's getting dark.
All right, the shadow is moving across us now. How long, well, let's talk a little bit about the we're going to go back into actually what an eclipse is. We really don't have a lot of time here right now, so.
Really getting dark. It's starting to move.
Okay. Basically, the sun now, as far as we can tell with your indirect device, is covered, but don't look at it. It's not. It's not total yet. When it gets totally dark, that's the time to look at the sun. And of course, now all the lights are coming on. Cars are turning their lights on, and it is beginning to get very dark.
And we're watching the kids down here in St. Joe's parking lot with their indirect viewing devices, the moon and the sun. All right, there it goes. There it goes.
Don't look at the sun. Don't look at it until right about now. You can generally see the. Now you can look for about the next 60 seconds. That's a total eclipse. Don't look at it too long, though. This should last about 2 minutes, 10 seconds, Marty. And they're saying that this is going to be very good for the scientists. Even though that this one isn't going to last all that long, we're in a period of maximum sunspots for the sun. And they're now trying to do some experimentation dealing with the Earth's weather and how they're affected by sunspots. That's right. And if you want to, you can barely see some of the gases escaping from the sun right now as you look at the corona, and you're probably seeing what most people have been studying for years. It's still a good idea not to look at it for too long a period of time because we really don't know when it's safe.
Right. There's some scientists down at Stanford today who are working on experimentation, watching, you're talking about that, the gases escaping for the sun and possible ideas for energy that we could use here upon the Earth. And it is now dark.
Right, we are in a total eclipse, Tim.
And if you're at work right now and listening to the radio, calling the boss into just going outside for just a second to take a quick glance, just a quick one.
And we are about 60 seconds into our total eclipse period.
2 minutes and 10 seconds.
We have about another minute and 10 seconds to go. And if you want to take a look at it, now's the time to do it because in a matter of minutes, actually a matter of seconds, it'll be unsafe to look at it again.
The temperature is steady right now, but it's starting to just drop now. It's 37 degrees across the street, but it's going to start dropping any second now. I'm freezing.
Well, I hope that other people in the path of totality were able to get this kind of a view because it's almost perfect.
The cloud cover lifted. It's fantastic. But the scientists are still a little leery of this eclipse for the simple reason that it didn't last as long. The eclipse that happens near the equator will last as long as 7 minutes, and they can get some experimentation and a lot of good pictures.
All right, here it comes. Don't look at the sun now because now's the time that it can do the most damage to your eye. So that will take care of our total eclipse.
Here we go. Right. They talk about that as it becomes a curved line, that crescent, the little beading effect that ripples across the Earth they call Bailey's beads, and that's what we just experienced.
And the moon is moving back, and we've just gone through a solar eclipse. We'll have to. Next one is 2017. And we'll join you for that one.
Yes, we can come up here and cover another.
Back on.
The amazing thing is down near Goldendale is a replica of Stonehenge, and Stonehenge was a solar clock, apparently, and they've got some druids down there, some Celtic druids down there, and chanting and going on. But they're saying that it's not the same as England because it's 400 miles further south and about 6 degrees off of Stonehenge and Amesbury in England, but they're down there doing some experimenting.
Well, if you heard some chanting or if your animals behave strangely, you know what happened. But that's our solar eclipse coverage live from the roof here on KMWX.
KMWX. Amazing, isn't it?